Hold up.
I already did.
Music.
I did it. It's not working.
All right, just bring the show up.
Wow.
Again.
Well, welcome back to It's Happening Now. As you can see, as per normal, we're having technical difficulties like we normally do.
I would say user.
User
Yeah.
error, technical difficulties.
No.
I was trying to spare us.
I clicked the button. It just didn't work.
But we got a show for you tonight, April 24th, 2024. Biden trying to become a dictator. Is Trump's case going to be dismissed and more? So let's kick off with the Biden trying to stay in power to be a dictator. Let's pull this up real quick. What do you guys think about this?
Joe Biden considering declaring a national climate emergency and giving himself COVID-like powers without congressional approval. Sounds about right for an Emrod, dumbhead, potatoes, lion, dog, pony soldier, lion, dog, face, pony soldier.
Right?
Yes, it does. He's always trying something, man. He's always up to something.
Polling numbers, basically tanking, as we all know. Yeah, he's trying to claim a climate crisis to stay in power. There's a video. I haven't watched it. I don't know if you guys want me to play it.
Play it.
Play it.
Okay.
We always like enlarge it.
Yeah, full screen it. I can't hear it.
It's not.
You didn't turn up the sound or something.
You got to full screen it on the video, Scott.
Yes. Go down to the two. Oh, this is a nightmare.
Sorry, it's too loud.
No, I can't hear anything. You got to make it full screen.
Really?
Just stop it.
Okay, stop it. Yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. It's always something with us.
All right, hold on, I'll stop it.
I'm going to see if I can get that video to play. Give me a second so they can hear what it says.
I heard it just fine. You guys couldn't hear it at all?
Because you didn't.
Okay, I'm just going to read that for you since we're having technical difficulties right now. So bear with us for a second. Go back up, Scott. Right there.
All right there.
Okay. Stop. The White House is now considering declaring a national climate emergency. If Joe Biden declares a national climate emergency, he would have COVID-like powers. He would impose the Green New Deal on America without a vote of Congress. So basically what he's going to do is bypass normal procedures so he can get his way, because that would never, well, I'm not even going to say that, because with the way the world is going and the way our government runs, who knows? I would say it shouldn't pass if it was brought to the floor. Right. What do you guys think?
It absolutely shouldn't. But like we said, his numbers are tanking. He knows it. We know it. I don't think he has a prayer of winning. So, sorry.
So I was doing the same thing. Here, there. I got rid of it. It's gone.
So he's anything he can to keep pushing his tyrannical agenda. Quite honestly, I think is what it all comes down to.
What do you think it leads to if he does do it? Lockdowns for climate change?
I don't know.
You're not allowed to drive your car anymore, Scott. You should have bought an electric vehicle.
All right.
I think this is what I think when I think of him now. That's Biden in Palpatine robes. I really feel like that's really, just describes what
I'm going to go ahead and play the video for people because they probably wanted to watch it and didn't. So we'll get this going here for them.
Oh, go ahead.
Fox Business is now considering declaring a national climate emergency. But that's a climate crisis to you, Mark. The AP, which sets the standards for newsrooms across the country, they're urging Americans to use the term climate crisis to address the current situation. This is all troubling, but if the president declares a climate emergency, what impact does that have?
Well, I mean, this is the serious story of the day. NBC News has reported that if Joe Biden declares a national climate emergency, he would have COVID-like powers under that emergency, and they also compared the emergency powers to the 9/11 emergency powers. The Center for Biological Diversity has estimated Joe Biden would get about 130 wartime-like powers by which to bypass democracy and impose the Green New Deal on America without a single vote of Congress. This is truly this is a Halloween story, not a story for Earth Day. This is a truly frightening story, and he might just be desperate enough to do it. This is being widely reported in the media. The Biden White House is leaking this out. This might happen, and this is going to give Joe Biden, these kind of, you want to say the word dictatorial powers. He doesn't need no stinking democracy to impose the Green New Deal if he does this.
Pretty scary, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, he is definitely trying to be the dictator, and
that show has better producer than we do.
That's the difference.
Yeah, we don't have one. It's just
that's
us.
That's what I say. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, he's definitely trying to. I say he would do it. What do you guys think? Do you think he's going to do it?
I think he's going to try. I don't know if they'll. Well, I mean, I guess.
Well, they can't stop him if
he does. I don't know. I mean,
you guys think he's desperate enough, Devin, Greg?
Yes, I absolutely do.
That he is, and it scares me. I don't think we're so close to being like Rome right now that it scares me. I mean, we could have an emperor here in like the next
month, 2, maybe 3.
It
Yeah.
doesn't even matter anymore, So
yeah, it doesn't, man, and it's a shame that this is happening to our country. It's like we live in a third world country now. We're talking about America here. I mean, that's what's really strange about it. We are the beacon of freedom across the world
and hope,
and freedom and hope and the pursuit of happiness, and we are being ran by a tyrannical government that just does not care about you, me, or anybody else.
Right.
Oh, they care about themselves. I'd say they probably do care about themselves. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I mean,
they absolutely care about themselves.
Right.
They don't care about it.
I still can't believe they're trying to push this Green New Deal thing. I mean, they just recently passed the 95 point something $billion thing again. I mean, they spent more money again. Just the other day it passed for Ukraine
yesterday.
And all that. Yeah, yesterday. And now they want to push this Green New Deal, which is what was the last estimated cost that we heard about that?
It's like 600 trillion or something like that.
Yeah, like $600 trillion.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Like
say that?
Money? Isn't it like?
I thought it was like 100 trillion for the Green New Deal. What was the last estimated price for that to make that a thing?
I do not know. I know it was high in the. I thought it was high in the billions. It might. 600 trillion. That's like an enormous amount. That's an unreasonable amount of money.
Reached $93 trillion in the first 10 years.
Jesus Christ!
Right. So now
how are we gonna pay for that?
We're not. That's just it. So now they've taken a whole bunch of money all this time, been giving it to Ukraine, wherever. Who knows where the hell it's gone? To be honest. And now let's push this Green New Deal thing and charge everybody another $93 trillion or whatever.
It's not about whether or not we have money or not. All right. It's been pretty obvious here at this point that their goal is aligned with the is it the WEF, the World Economic Forum?
Uh-huh.
Their goal is to do what? It is to do what is called the Great Reset. A lot of people know this. It is a thing. They want to crash the American dollar, because if they can crash the American dollar, they can crash all of the economies of the world at the same time, which does what? Which means that everyone has to go to a new currency. That currency will probably be ruled and set by the WEF. And then all countries live on one currency.
I'm going to disagree with that. And not that what you said isn't the national narrative of what they're saying they want to do, or the world narrative. The Great Reset, in my mind, is population.
Mostly.
The Great Reset of the population.
Could be.
But one
Could
of the
be. We don't
steps
know.
to get there, though, he's right, is collapsing the economy. That's one of the main steps.
The
to get
world,
this-
yeah,
still have
the
to
world
go out.
economy.
the world economy, right?
Because if our money falls, so does the rest of everyone else's.
Right.
For the most part.
China's economy is built 50%
On
of it is
ours.
built on us. So
Right.
if we fall, they fall. Because if we
Right.
can't buy China's products, China can't make any money. So
Watch that mouth.
I'm sorry. It is. I caught myself. I'm sorry. It's impossible. I mean,
Right.
if they
Uh,
succeed in this, everything's done, man. Everything's done.
Yeah. It's a sad thing. You know what the WEF does for me, though? Makes me so mad.
Makes me so mad.
It makes me mad, but it strikes fear into me anymore, honestly. I mean, but I don't know. This is why we need to get him out as soon as possible.
Well,
unfortunately, we have to wait till November at the earliest to even vote him out.
I think that this whole narrative is falling apart. This whole global initiative, this whole climate change is falling apart. And I have a video right here that's going to prove my case that it's starting to fall apart. So I'm going to bring this up, and it's not very long. It's only a minute, 13 seconds. And I really want you to listen to it. Everybody out there, all 5 people, open your ears and listen good. And tell me what you hear. It's towards the end. We all know who that is, right?
Oh, that's
yeah, I guess
Greta.
what that-
That's
yeah.
Greta. So listen closely.
Policy goal. If he rang you up and said, Greta, what should I do? What I can wave a presidential magic wand, executive order. What should I do that I'm not? What would you say to him?
Well, nothing, because that's not democratic. An elected leader cannot do anything without support from voters, and I would not want anyone to do anything that would not have the support, because that would be undemocratic, and democracy is the most precious thing that we have, and we must not risk that. So I would just tell him to tell the situation as it is. Since the climate crisis doesn't exist, how can we expect people to want climate action?
That's a fair point.
Since the climate crisis doesn't exist, since the climate crisis doesn't exist, since the climate crisis doesn't exist,
How dare you?
Well, now is she trying to tell the truth?
Is she trying to tell the
He
truth?
is telling the truth.
Is
It
she-
doesn't exist. It's not
Is
a
she-
real thing. And no matter how much money you throw at it, it will never be fixed because there's not a problem.
No,
Look, I can
it's-
solve the climate crisis in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Plant trees.
There you
Yeah.
If it's really too much carbon in the atmosphere,
Plant more trees.
trees absorb carbon and give off oxygen.
Now
It's
you're gonna
that
make me
simple.
feel. Now you're gonna make me feel bad about cutting down trees in my yard that are overgrown. Stop. it.
Now, I just read a study the other day. This is news from the latest science. They believe now, and certain scientists, that plants are sentient beings. They communicate with each other. They feel pain. They know you're standing beside it. They have the same optic retina or photo. What's the word I'm looking for? It just erased my head.
Photogenic. Or no, I mean photosynthesis.
Photo cells that we have in the back of our retinas.
Photo optics.
They're just like they're just the same cells that are on the back of our retina that gives us sight. Plants have all over their leaves and all over them.
Oh, I was lost, dude. I didn't even know what you were talking about. I'm sorry.
That's really strange.
It is.
Okay. Look. Melissa Young, didn't they say Trump was going to be a dictator?
We did try to say that.
They did say that. Look, we've been saying
this
this
was our
since we started since we started doing this show. We've said that over and over and over again about the Democrats. What is it? Deflecting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Deflecting. Oh yeah.
And what they say Trump was doing, they turned around and they did almost. I mean, as far as I know, everything they said about Trump, they have done or are guilty of doing themselves. Just like what we was talking about last night with the Trump broke the law. Trump broke the law. He had all this classified information, but he had presidential powers. He was allowed to do that, and by law, he's allowed to do that.
Right.
Biden did it.
Mhm.
He was not the president. He had no presidential powers because he wasn't the president at the time. But he had all the
He's a Democrat.
they just deflected the whole thing. Like, look, nothing to see over here because Biden did it. But we're going to try to pin Trump. But so if you arrest Trump, you have to arrest Biden too, and any other senator or congressman that has any classified information, because they are not the president.
You don't arrest Biden because he's part of the actual Stasi, man.
I agree. You know what I'm saying.
No, I'm just telling you, this is how it works.
I know how it messed up your perfect segue, bro. But I mean, I was going to do this and go.
This show is a hot mess.
It is a hot mess today. It's Wednesday.
It's like that burning dump in India right now. You know.
Right. Yeah. The world's almost on fire, literally, and you know.
It's all good.
We got DA Braggs again, huh? You want to read that headline?
Make fatal error when revealing underlining crimes. I'm sorry.
You want me to read that?
Yeah, please.
DA Bragg's attorneys make fatal error when revealing underlying crime in hush money case. Trump attorneys must move to dismiss now.
Thank you.
Yes, no problem. I read that article.
Okay.
And I mean, if you got something to say after, feel free. But what he did was they have accused Trump, all right, of using funds from the campaign, right, to pay her. Well, they said that he did this in order to progress his campaign, to show favor to it. But that law only exists for people running for New York elections. It does not exist for federal elections. Therefore, the crimes they're charging Trump with have no jurisdiction over a federal election. Therefore, there is no crime.
There is no crime.
So they're
just like everything they've tried to bring him up on so far. There was never a crime.
Never.
Right. And but there was a crime. They're just falsely accusing the wrong person.
Right. They're accusing the wrong person. There's been lots of crimes. You're right about that.
Next time that it's accused on somebody else, it's not that big of a deal.
Right. That's true, and that's how they'll say it. Well, we couldn't find Trump guilty, so we can't charge Biden with it because Trump already got Trump. It was dismissed on Trump's trial, and it's like, it's because Trump had presidential powers. Biden did not have presidential powers, therefore he is guilty.
Right.
Anybody who actually looks at it can see that.
Right.
And that whole trial that DA Braggs is doing, it makes absolutely no sense.
I'm going to bring this up just so the people can see where that crime is. And it says right here, prosecutors in New York have revealed what the other crime is that Donald Trump was allegedly trying to conceal when he was falsifying business records, and they claim it was to unlawfully promote his candidacy. The fatal error is that the New York statute they cite only applies to elections within the state of New York and not federal elections. So, like I said, no jurisdiction whatsoever.
And this is the issue that we were talking about a couple of days ago with prosecutors always trying to go after someone at any chance they can, even if they don't even have a case. If you brought this to a judge and said, I wanted to sue this person, they would take one look at that statute and go, nah, can't be done. We're not going to go after him. You're not going to win. You can pay me. I'll go out there and do this, but you're not going to win.
Well,
so I wouldn't even take the case because I don't want to lose that record. But these people
no judge wants to take that trial. No judge would want to take that to trial. Prosecutors shouldn't be doing this. I mean, look at our vice president. What she did while she was the DA, wasn't she the DA of California? Somewhere around there, somewhere in there. And she kept people in prison for longer than they were to use them as a slave labor to put out fires. She did that. She knew that the dude who was on death row was innocent, but she never showed it. I don't know if he ended up dying or if he just ended up staying in there for a lot longer than what he should have, but she knew she had the evidence, but she buried it.
Right. And she put people into jail for marijuana related crimes when she
was again. And
she laughed about it.
That's about the Snoop Dogg video where she was talking about Snoop Dogg and all that. Yeah. And that she's a lot older than that. She could have never been at college smoking any weed, talking or listening to Snoop Dogg because it was before his time. But that it's just you get tired of seeing these prosecutors do this, and the judges even letting these prosecutors bring these cases to them. It makes no sense.
Look, it's the cahoots. So you know what I mean? This is the deep state, the cabal. We are living in a coup. Everything you were taught in school, everything you were taught on the media, it's not true. We've been living in a movie. What we've learned, what we thought we knew, what we thought about this country is not true. I mean, just like Tucker Carlson said the other day, who's friends with the high-ranking member of Congress, they're deathly afraid of the intel agencies. They're afraid. The intel agencies, the letter people per se of the country, are controlling this country, not our representatives. So when they say, give Ukraine money, they give Ukraine money. When they say wave these flags afterwards, they wave those flags afterwards. Because if not, they find kiddie porn on their computer. You know what I'm saying? And then they get charged with a false crime, and away they go. Out of Washington, in prison. They may not go to prison. They never go to prison because they say, look.
Some do, but.
Well, some do, but that's when they're really criminals. But most of the time, they're just like, disappear. You won't go to prison.
Yeah.
Don't talk about this. Just go away.
Yeah.
And then we think, well, they should have been to prison. They never did the crime to begin with. They just wanted them out of office. They were asking too many questions. We're in a coup.
The new guy asks too many questions.
Yes, it's a new 19-year project.
Then again, there are a bunch of people in Congress that very well could be doing that thing. So we don't know entirely if they are guilty or not guilty because they're slime balls.
Well, but let's look at Matt Gaetz, all right? And I have to say I'm sorry, I was looking up. I couldn't remember what he was charged with, but he was charged with something from the, you know what I mean, why he was in Congress. They were doing everything they could to get this man out.
Right.
Look at the Democrat that they said, oh, they found gold bars. And he's like, I'm not leaving. Matt Gaetz said, I'm not leaving. It says DOJ won't charge Matt Gaetz in sex trafficking probe.
I just pulled it up.
They said, and then they decide Gaetz' office added the Department of Justice has converted Congressman Gaetz' attorneys that their investigation has concluded and that he will not be charged with any crimes. So instantly, Matt Gaetz is the only one. Well, he's not the only one, but he's the most prominent guy right now charging after these people. No. American people. Oh, now he's charged with sex crimes.
Right.
You know,
I have a video of it if you want to see it.
Go for it. Let's watch it.
Sorry. Why won't it let me play it?
I don't know. Make it larger.
A target of investigation for alleged trafficking of girls. His legal team says has been informed that the case has been closed by the Justice Department. Western News political and investigative reporter Greg Fox is here with us to explain. And Greg, this dragged on for a long time.
It sure did, for more than 2 years. And it should also be noted that the investigation was launched under the administration of then President Donald Trump. But it started to become apparent Gaetz would be in the clear in December when his buddy, former Seminole County tax collector Joel Greenberg, was sentenced. Republican Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz no longer has the Department of Justice looking over his shoulder. His attorney, Isabel Kirshner, tells West 2 News, "We spoke with DOJ and have been informed that they have concluded their investigation into Congressman Gaetz and allegations related to sex trafficking and obstruction of justice, and they have determined not to bring any charges against him."
We all have to watch our back because that's
Okay, I'm not gonna play the whole video.
But look, obstruction of justice. Trump, obstruction of justice. Gaetz, obstruction of justice. If you are a lawmaker and you don't do what the letter people say, sex crimes, obstruction of justice, they want you gone. That Democrat, I can't remember his name, they're like, oh, well, you took money and Mercedes and gold bars and, you know, we want you out. He fought that. He fought that tooth and nail, and he's still there. If you don't toe the rope, what they want you to do, you're gone. They ruin your life. They destroy you.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It is. I mean, you really, if you're in those positions, man, you got to be real careful about, the way you walk around in there.
So you have to ask yourself, who's really in power? It's not us. I don't think it's Congress. I don't think it's the Senate. I don't think it's the president. We saw Trump. Trump went in there, whether you like him or not, whether you like what he says or doesn't say. He went in there with the people's best interests. He lowered gas.
This nation, this nation's best interest.
You know what I mean? Opportunity zones. He wasn't in there for Donald Trump. He was a billionaire. He could have lived on some beach somewhere, sipping Mai Tais, grabbing them by the beep, for the rest of his life, and never had to be attacked by the entire country of the United States and the world. He did that for you. He did that for me. He did it for Black people, Chinese people, Middle Easterners, Asians, everybody. He's like, I want the American people to prosper. And they tried to destroy the man. They're still trying to destroy the man.
Right. Well, and the worst part is so I'm sorry, Devin. Go ahead.
No, I said because they're interfering with their agenda, and that can't happen.
The worst thing is they're trying to rub it in our faces. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna bring something up real quick, or I'll try to. Just a headline.
I agree with you. Why do you think they raised the gas prices the way they did?
But look right there. You know what I mean? There you have it. What's it say? It says Biden trashes MAGA Republicans as he signs $95 billion foreign aid package with no U.S. border security. So it's not any longer about what's right and wrong for the American people. It's, oh, look what I did to your party. Ha 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 ha. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, maybe it's just what he's told to say. Maybe his job is to trash MAGA ends at every turn because we are the people that are not going along with the status quo, which is funny that we are the ones that are now going away from the status quo and we're considered the bad people, because I remember it was pretty cool to be going against the status quo back in the
right.
And now it's
time
don't you go against the government.
I want to tell you this. Trump and Oprah Winfrey used to be best friends. 100% best friends.
Yeah.
Until he announced he was going to run for president. Yeah. I remember this from when I was a kid. A lot of people out there probably has never seen this. Trump never wanted to be president. And Oprah Winfrey tried to get him to run. So I'm going to share this little clip. It's only 58 seconds long. And I want you to hear these words.
Winfrey is speaking out about this video that's gone viral of Donald
Trump. Oh, well,
Trump
this is a video.
I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
I would never want to rule it out totally because I really.
It's hard to hear, Greg. Can you turn it up a little?
I don't know if I can get
Oprah's
better.
best friend Gail King wanted to know what she thinks about the Trump interview now.
When I asked that question, I didn't expect that answer.
And check this out. It's another lost video of young Donald Trump. This is from 1980, and he was interviewed by Tom Brokaw on the Today Show.
Mr. Trump, what's left in your life? You're 33 years old. You're worth all this money. You say you didn't say that you want to be worth $1 billion.
No, I really don't. I just want to keep busy and keep active and be interested in what I do.
This country loves celebrity, and they love rich, and he's both celebrity and rich, and people want to be identified with him.
He never wanted to be president.
Right.
He loved doing real estate.
Right.
And he was loved by all these people.
Right.
He did. And I want to hit on something you said earlier about the what Trump did with the opportunity zones and all that. 10 million people, up to, it says 10 million, but they say those numbers could be skewed. So at least 5 million people got off welfare under Trump because of the opportunity zones.
Right.
How many people went back on welfare when Biden came back in here because he took away the jobs? I mean, everybody can sit there and look at it and be like, oh yeah, thank God what California is $20 an hour minimum wage. That doesn't do nothing but screw you over. Whether you like it or not, or you don't want to admit to it or not, you want the $20 an hour. It's an unskilled job. It really is. It doesn't take that much experience to flip a burger, make some French fries, and all that. I'm not saying those people don't deserve to get paid their worth, but you want a real job. You want to get paid your worth. Go get a job in a factory or warehouse, stuff like that. You'll make good money. You can work the way up to the corporate ladder and all that.
Get a
Trucking
skilled
pays
trade.
money.
Yeah, get a skilled trade. It's better than going to college. Believe it or not. You go to college for 4, 5, 6 years and you go through liberal arts classes and all that. You will walk out of there with $200,000 in debt and nothing to show for it because you can't get a job. You go to a skilled trade and you go to a skill school and you get a trade.
Right.
You will walk away with $100,000 plus a year if you are good at if you end up being good at what you do. It doesn't take that long to get
and
there.
a lot of times have very little money into schooling, if any. You know what I mean?
Especially as a trucker. I mean, it's not for everybody, and neither is any skilled job. Everyone has a certain demand, you know what I mean? And it wears on your body, you know, even trucking. With people think that we're just steering wheel holders. But no, it's a skill.
They're not fun jobs, but they pay very well.
Now, I want
They
you
do
guys,
really well. And you can run a really successful business off of any single one of those. Any skilled trade that you can go learn, you can turn into a business and run it yourself and make a lot of money. They don't want you to know that.
I want you to understand this. There's 5,999 colleges in America. Okay. College is a scam. It's a for-profit industry that's propped up by the federal government. Harvard has, I think, an ungodly amount in its salary. You can look it up. It's in the hundreds of billions. You know what I'm saying? It is uber rich. All right. So that you go to college, your high school, or they say you have to go to college. If you want to be anything, you have to go to college. You have to go to college. Let's just look at computer information systems. So there's 5,999 colleges out there. Okay. There's 2 million CIS jobs out there, computer information systems. Last time I checked, and that was a couple of years ago. Okay. So if those colleges each are pumping out 100,000 computer information systems graduates every year, they're going out and competing with 2 million jobs every year. 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000. 5 years, you have 500,000 people out there competing for those jobs that are probably already full.
Right.
So
most of them.
Yeah. So you're not going to get a job in your field that you want. You're not going to
you go to a skill school, you will though.
Or even
Well,
if
no,
you
that's
do, it'll be
different.
worth far less.
I know
than what it should be.
that's the point I'm trying to make, and it costs a lot less to go to a skill trade school, and you could walk out of there, walk into whatever job. Yeah, at first you're an apprentice, you're going to make a little less, but you will eventually get there, and it doesn't really take as long as people think it does. I know we're running out of time. I'm sorry.
I was
we're way out of time.
way
right?
wrong. I'm sorry. Let me give them the correct information. Number of jobs as of 2022 in the computer and information systems management, 557,000.
Right. And they're mostly all full.
So when they wonder why I can't get a job, and then there's a majority of people out there with bachelor's degree, and you wonder why these little jobs out there, we need an office clerk, must have a bachelor's degree, $12.75 an hour. It's a scam.
It is.
It is.
It's a piece of paper.
It is. And college isn't for everybody.
And now they're just indoctrination stations. You're going to come out a terrorist, liberal nutwad who thinks that democracy and free speech is bad.
Right.
Yeah, hating their own country by the time they walk out of there. It's ridiculous. But Scott, if you want to wrap it up.
Well, everybody, thanks for watching tonight. We ran a little long like usual. That's not unusual for us. Please remember to like, subscribe, share with all your friends, scream it from the rooftops, ring the bell, as Greg would say, and we will be back tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow, same time. Please come back.
Yes, we will be.
We're going to
God
get
bless,
this.
and good night.
God bless. We're going to get this outro perfect. Somebody roll that beautiful, funky beat.
Got it.
And we out. That wasn't very fast. Messed up.